Hey everyone, welcome back to Life Stories Network, the place where real emotions meet powerful stories. Today, I'm sharing a story that truly hit me right in the heart. It's about a man who raised a child that wasn't biologically his, but loved him like his own, only to hear something that shattered his world. I married my wife when her son, Kyle, was only 4 years old. His biological dad wasn't in the picture, never really was. I didn't try to replace anyone, I just stepped in and gave Kyle every bit of love I had. I was the one taking him to soccer practice, teaching him how to ride a bike, sitting beside him when he had nightmares. I was dad in every way but blood. And for years, that's how it felt. He called me dad. On Father's Day, he'd make those little crayon cards. In every school document, every doctor's form, he carried my last name, even if it wasn't legal. It was symbolic. We were a family. A real one. Or at least, that's what I thought. Things started to shift when Kyle hit his teenage years. You know how teens can get distant. I figured it was normal, growing pains, hormones, all that. He'd get moody, snappy, sometimes cold. I chalked it up to age. I didn't push. I stayed patient. I wanted him to know I'd be here, no matter what. Then, about a year ago, he turned 16. We were at the DMV, helping him apply for a state ID. The clerk asked him to confirm his full name. Without hesitation, he said, Kyle Thompson, his mother's maiden name. I paused. That wasn't what he usually went by. When we got in the car, I gently asked about it. Hey buddy, I noticed you didn't use my last name today. Everything okay? What he said next? It stuck with me in a way I'll never forget. He looked out the window and said, I think it's time I stop using your last name. It just doesn't feel like me anymore. My heart dropped. I didn't say anything at first. I just drove. The silence in that car felt like it could suffocate us both. Later that night, I sat with my wife. I told her what Kyle said. She was quiet too. Maybe a part of her understood it more than I did. Maybe she had seen this coming. Maybe I just didn't want to see it. The thing is, I never forced him to take my name. Never pushed. Never adopted him formally, because his mom thought it might confuse him when he was younger. I respected that. I just gave all the love I could and hoped it would be enough. So when Kyle said he didn't want my last name anymore, it felt like he was saying I didn't matter. That all the nights I stayed up with him when he was sick, all the scraped knees I patched up, all the birthday parties I planned, none of it mattered. I didn't confront him. I didn't yell or cry. I just accepted it. Or at least, I tried to. But that night, I opened an old photo album. One with pictures from his 5th birthday. Me holding him on my shoulders. Him smiling ear to ear with cake on his face. I looked at that photo for hours. I realized something deep. He may not see me as his real dad. But I know what I gave. I know the role I played. And that love? That bond? It wasn't fake. It was real, for me. But maybe it wasn't for him anymore. So I made a choice. A hard one. If he didn't want to use my last name, I would stop using my when talking about him. Not to be cold or cruel. But because maybe he needed space to figure out who he really was. And maybe I needed space too. I stopped introducing him as my son. I started saying, my wife's son. It broke something inside me every time, but it also protected something. My heart, maybe. My pride. The part of me that still had to wake up every day and live with the feeling of being unwanted. My wife noticed. She asked why I was doing it. I told her the truth, because he asked me to let go of a name. And I think that was his way of asking me to let go of a title too. She cried. We both did. But she understood. I never stopped loving Kyle. That's the hardest part. You can't just turn love off. Even now, I still check his school schedule. I still peek at his social media. Still keep that 5th birthday photo in my wallet. Months passed. We didn't talk much. He'd come home, go to his room, and barely make eye contact. I kept my distance, hoping one day he'd come around. But I didn't beg. I didn't plead. I just waited. Then one day, I came home from work. There was a card on the kitchen table. No name on the front. Just a folded card. I opened it. Inside, in messy handwriting, it said, "I'm sorry." I was angry and confused. "I didn't mean to push you away. You're still my dad. Always were." I sat down right there on the kitchen floor. I hadn't cried like that in years. I didn't even know he'd noticed how much it hurt me. I thought he didn't care. But maybe, just maybe, he was hurting too. We talked that night. Really talked. For the first time in months. He told me he was struggling with identity. That he felt lost between two dads, one who left and one who stayed. And somehow, pushing me away felt like claiming control. Like he was choosing his own story. I told him I understood. That I wasn't mad. Just hurt. That all I ever wanted was to be there. For him. No matter what name he used. No matter what he called me. He asked if it was too late. If I still thought of him as my son. I told him I never stopped. We haven't fixed everything. Things take time. But we're trying. And sometimes, trying is the bravest thing you can do. He still uses his mom's name. I'm okay with that now. Because he also calls me dad again. And